Right. So to get started, I'm going to go right into my PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to share my screen real fast, so hold on 1 second. Can you guys see my screen already?
No, we just see you.
There we go.
Nope, we still see you. Oh, there you go.
All right, so this is our monthly update. A lot has happened, and first up, I want to say thank you guys for jumping on this live call. I just like it more when it's live. It seems somewhat disingenuous when I do it recorded, but I'll still record these and send them out. So I'm just going to kind of go over where we're at right now in the markets. And hold on 1 second. I'm going to switch screens here. It's on the wrong screen. Gotta love technology. Let's get 1 and 2. Can you guys see? What can you see right now? Because this is not working.
Yeah, I don't see probably what you're trying to show
Are you
us.
looking at the PowerPoint? Can you see the PowerPoint presentation?
I see your background of the boat in the really blue water channeling through the jungle.
Now you see the screens.
Yep, I see 1, 2, 3.
And this is why we do the recorded version, because all of the bloopers get taken out. All right, well, I'm just going to show you this way. All right, so don't stop when you're tired, stop when you're done. That's a good quote for the day. We're going to be going over right now is interest rates, this week's events, the Fed announcements, which are going to be 50 basis points this week. On Wednesday, that's going to be really important. And then we're also going to show you what the rate buy downs, the seller buy downs. You guys, that's going to be really, really important. I think it's going to be a great tool for you to get your buyers back into the game. So without further ado, I'm going to share with you what's happening with interest rates right now. So here's a breakdown of kind of what the markets are doing right now. And as you can see, we're down 33 basis points for the day. But I wanted to show you how that impacts the rate sheet. So over here on the right-hand side, red means we got worse, but down 33 basis points for the day. What that means to rates is over here. So let's just look at 5 1/4 for a second. That rate cost 1 point to get, 0.954 points, or the cost of the borrower 58.91. This negative 33 means that we're going to take 33 basis points off here. So now this is going to be 98.74 roughly, or 98.7. And this amount is going to go up to like 1.3% for the cost. So notice the rate stayed the same, just the cost is going to change based on this negative 33 basis points. When I say negative 33 basis points, that's what it's referring to, the cost, the price of the loan. So as an example, 5.625 today was no points. So 100 even means no points. So this is just over 100. So now you're going to get a lender credit of $266 at this option. But once this negative 33 from the bond market hits the rate sheet, 5.625, now this will be 99.7-ish, which is the same as here. So really, it's going to cost us now to get this same rate. It'll cost us about $1,200 to get 5.625 later today. So that's how rates work. I did a TikTok video on how rates work, and I posted it to Instagram and Facebook and all those other things as well. But this is how rates work. You can get any rate at any time. So if you wanted to get 4 1/4, it cost you 4.923 points today. We're going to go over seller buy down and how we can get this rate for your buyers without anything out of pocket. That's going to be coming up next. So here's the current rate survey. 30-year fixed, we're at 5.41 with points. So again, 5.625 with no points, kind of like we saw on the chart before. 15-year, 4.84 with points, 0.4 points. This is from the Mortgage News Daily website. I like it because it's a third party. They're not trying to sell you on rates. They're not trying to deceive you with high costs of, get this rate, but then it's 3 points to get. It's telling you what the true rates are and what the costs are. And this is a survey across the nation. 30-year FHA, we're at a little bit under 5%, which is really nice. So FHA is cheaper on the rate, but it is more expensive on the mortgage insurance and the upfront mortgage insurance that FHA loans have. Jumbo, we're in the mid 4s. ARMs, you can get an ARM. That might be a good solution for those customers that were under contract with the builder, and now their rates went from 3 up to 5.5. You may be able to put them into an ARM. Does have some points associated with that to get that rate, but it may be a really good solution for those people that are really frustrated with the higher rates. So let's look at the seller buy down. This is really interesting, guys. So I'm going to open this up real fast. I'm going to drag this over here. This is the Mortgage Coach. This program, and can you guys see my screen? Christy, can you see the Mortgage Coach program?
Yes, I see it.
Okay. Let's just pretend there's a listing out there, and I'm going to teach you how to really utilize this, but the market is slowing, guys. We are seeing a shift. Right now, you may not be able to use that, or you may. But what you want to look at is if you have buyers that are really rate sensitive and you're starting to see days in the market escalate. So now instead of 5 days on the market, maybe there's a listing at 35 days on the market and your buyers really like it. So instead of going in, and this might sound foreign, but this will happen, mark my words, the market is shifting. If there's, instead of asking for maybe a 650, it's listed as 650, instead of offering 624, let's look at it comparatively. Offer 624 at current rates versus let's keep the 650, but then ask them to give 4% towards buying the rate down, which will net them the same purchase price. It'll net them the same amount. The sellers get the same amount in their pocket. Offer them full price and then buy down the rate from 5.75 to 4.25. So what does that do for the buyer? It does quite a lot, actually. It saves them $413 a month on that payment. It's the same out of pocket. If you look at the cash to close figure, I'm going to zoom in on this. It's the same out of pocket relatively for the consumer. Their loan amount is a little higher, but because the rate is significantly lower, this is a tremendous deal. So really the perfect candidate for this is somebody that is rate sensitive, that maybe is not shopping anymore because the rates are just too high for them and they've just given up. And there's some homes in the market that you're seeing are sticking around, and instead of giving a little less on the offer, it might sound foreign, guys, but it's going to happen, mark my words. Instead of offering a little less, because there's people out there that are selling for just too much. They're still dreaming. This scenario is out there. I just want you to be aware of it as another solution to help you guys get that buyer off the fence into a lower rate. So let's look at what this looks like over time. The interest made in 15 years, even though their mortgage payment is, let's see, 17 plus 8, so it's 26,000 roughly, 27,000 or roughly higher. In 15 years, it's a difference of over 100,000 in interest they're saving. Look at that savings. It's just incredible. So rate has a massive impact on affordability, on costs, and this is a way to get back to lower rates now instead of maybe making an offer less than the asking price. So keep in mind, this is over a 5-year period, 60 months, there's a $38,000 net savings. That's huge. So just a strategy, the seller buy down, again, the perfect candidate is a seller whose home's been on the market. Maybe they're asking more than what it's worth. Who knows, but it's been on the market. Instead of asking for lower, give them the full price, but then ask them to buy down the rate at 4%. They're going to net the same as if you went in and would offer at 624. They're going to net exactly the same. So this is a great strategy. If you have a listing, it's a great way of talking to buyers that are potentially coming to you into buying the home if they, for some reason, are adverse to current market rates, which you and I both know there's a lot of people that are adverse to the market rates right now. It's a great way to get into a lower rate and get a great deal still on the home, pay just the asking price, and get a overall lower payment. Now, let's switch gears a little. Let's just say this scenario where you're going to give them an offer for under asking. What if that doesn't exist right now? And a lot of times it doesn't. What are your options? Well, you could say, you know what, it's listed for 650. I'm going to give you 680, and then we're going to use that 30,000 to buy the rate down. That's still an option to do. So this really is to get those people off the fence. What if you called all your buyers that were currently frustrated with rates and said, hey, I may have a strategy that'll work. It's called the seller buy down. This is what it works. What if I told you you could buy a house right now at 4.25 rate and your payment would be $400 less? Would you be interested in buying again? Most likely they're going to be like, wait, what? Yeah, that would really help. This is a great tool. So I would go through your database. Anyone that has buyer fatigue because of the higher rates, offer them this solution and go to try to find those properties out there. Set proper expectations. You're not going to do this with one house with one day on the market. It's just not going to work. But if you see a property out there that's on the market for 30 days or more, it could be a great way of getting a really low rate now and look at the savings for the buyer. It's tremendous, $413 a month. Now, if you were to wonder what this is equivalent to, really, this payment is equivalent to maybe saving 10% on the purchase of the home. I mean, it really is, because that payment is so low. So utilize this tool, the seller buy down. It really is fantastic. And I'm going to stop share and just take some questions real fast. Do you guys have any questions regarding the seller buy down?
Yeah, I do. Valerie, so you're hoping that the appraisal will come in if you added an extra 30,000, like your illustration will come in, and then the appraiser is going to look at it and say, well, the asking price was 650, but you're offering 680. Isn't that a no-no?
Well, it's happening all over the board right now anyhow, because a lot of people are going 5 to 10% over asking, so they're used to it. You really have to look at the comps to see if that makes sense or not. They will see a copy of the contract, so they will see if there is a seller credit involved. But I have solutions for that as well. So let's just say that happens, and the appraisal comes in low, and let's just say they're putting 10% down. We can do a loan with 5% down, and then use that extra 5% to make up the difference, and still have that seller credit to buy down the rate. And so we can make it work. We can get creative on that. Again, these are very mechanical in nature. One gear can shift the gear of another. So we want to be very careful and very strategic with our buyers so that everyone knows how they work, so that you can really make a really strong case for these buyers to utilize this program, because the savings is enormous. And if you guys want me to share the numbers again on my screen, I'd be happy to do that as well.
Sean,
Yes.
okay, so say it's listed at 650, and the agent did the market analysis and it's really only worth like 625. What if can you do off from the 650 with, say, a $5,000 appraisal gap and still do this buy down?
Yes. So you can combine different strategies, so to speak, for your buyers in the offer. You can have the caps. You can do all of that. So it's just another strategy. You can just add this as a piece to any offer, but just know that it's going to affect the bottom dollar of the seller. So put yourself in the seller's shoes, and you have to play a little bit of psychology with them. Maybe ask them, how long has it been on the market? Why is it on the market so long? Like, maybe play with their psyche a little bit, and to have them question, like, maybe it is priced too high, and then come in with an offer. Who knows? I mean, there's a lot of psyche with the whole sales in real estate. So you just have to feel the seller out to see where they're at before you make an offer. But it is a great tool to add to any offer. And with FHA, it gets even more aggressive as far as the rate savings. So if you have customers that are on the fence or are tired of the high rates, and then just like, I'm just going to wait till rates to drop, remember that I'm going to show you this right now. I'm going to share my screen again. Hold on one second. I'm going to move everything. Working with 3 screens with Zoom is a task, just to let you know. I'm sure you guys have tried playing with it. So hold on one second. I'm going to share my screen again. And let's just say your buyer says, I'm just going to wait for rates to drop. What does that look like? I've got a cost of waiting analysis that I've put together. And I'm going to share that with you right now. So I can figure out where it is. Share. All right, so this is the cost of waiting analysis at 750. Let's just say if you look right here at the rate, I'm highlighted right here. This is assuming the rates are going to drop from where they are now to almost 1% lower and even more in 3 years. What the actual savings is, I'm sorry, it's not savings at all. It's a loss, right? So that was my bad humor. Sorry about that. But keep in mind, when you get a loan now, you start the amortization schedule and you start paying yourself immediately. So when you wait 6 months, you've already lost just by you making payments on your own, like $4,000. Over a year, it's like $8,000. Over 2 years, it's like $16,000. This is just because you're paying yourself through the mortgage and you're paying the mortgage down. But appreciation, you're losing the appreciation as well. And this is based on, guys, this is based on low appreciation numbers. 7% for 1 year, and that's low compared to what we've seen. 11%, that's cumulative over 2 years. So that's not another 11% per year. That's 11% over the last 2 years. And then 3 years, 15% over the last 3 years. So that's about 5.5% roughly per year. So I'm not talking massive appreciation amounts. We're back to normal. But this is how much you've lost. I mean, it's tremendous. After 6 months, if you wait for rates to drop, you're at a total cost of $36,000. If you're at 1 year, you're at a total cost of $63,000. Over 2 years, it's costing you $102,000 overall. In 3 years, it's just ludicrous, $144,000. We all know those buyers that are now they've been waiting for a year or two already, and you know how mad they are. This is called the total cost analysis, or the cost of waiting. It's a great tool to add to your listing presentation. It's a great tool to add to your buyers consultations. It's just a great tool overall, and we can make these to look however you want as far as the rates. If you want to say, okay, a loan today at 5.625, what if the rates in 6 months went to 4.25? We can do that scenario as well. So there's a lot that we can do. And again, the number one goal is to figure out a way of talking to these buyers that are just fed up with rates and fed up with the market, to figure out strategies that will portray to them the truth behind different options and what the cost of waiting truly is. So the seller buy down, it's going to be difficult to find those individual programs or individual properties that it'll work on, but just sort by days on market, look at the different homes, see if it's something that their buyers would be interested in, and have a swing at it, because it can save them a lot of money. And guess what? They now qualify on almost, what was it? 1.5 better in rate. They can qualify for more as well. And their payment is less. So if they were shopping with rates are in the 3s and 4s, and now rates are in 5.75 or 5.65, and they don't qualify anymore, this will get them back into the qualification game. So great tool. I think it's been overlooked. I think we're starting to see a market that it's really going to work well in. I do still think that there's a lot of people out there that are asking more for their homes in hopes that they'll get that desperate buyer to come in and do that. Are we there yet in the market where this will work on everything? No. But the winds of change, right? The winds of change are whistling, so to speak. So we would just want to make sure we have the best tools in front of us. If you guys don't understand this and you want a one-on-one, I'm happy to do that with you as well. If you want to do it with a buyer consultation, to do a Zoom call and I could portray it like this with them, I'm happy to do that as well. Just know I'm here for you. And it really is a great tool. So I'm going to open it up to any questions.
Sean, you have Michael wants to know if you can provide some written messaging for them for their buyers.
Yes. Yes, I absolutely can. Give me some time on that to make sure I can get it through compliance and everything, but I will absolutely do that for you.
Thank you.
I'm going to put that on a note for myself. Bear with me. Any other questions on the seller buy down or what rates are doing? Oh, one thing I want to mention, guys, the Feds are going to be raising rates 50 basis points on Wednesday. If you've been on these calls before, raising rates 50 basis points at the federal level, that raises the rates at which banks borrow money through the Fed window over a 24-hour period. It has nothing to do with the rates of a 30-year mortgage, which are based on bonds and are long-term bonds. They have nothing to do. The Fed funds rate and mortgage bonds are two completely different animals. The reason why the Feds are raising the rates is to stop inflation. So most likely what we'll see, and this is usually what happens when the Feds raise the rates of the Federal Reserve rate, the prime rate, it slows down inflation. Remember, mortgage rates, the enemy is inflation. So if inflation gets better, usually mortgage rates get better too. So keep that in mind. If you have borrowers that say, oh my gosh, the Feds are going to raise rates again, I'm never going to be able to afford a mortgage, has nothing to do with it. Watch the mortgage bonds. That has everything to do with it. The Fed raising the rates and what they say can influence what the bond markets do, but the Fed funds rate does not dictate what mortgage rates do. And they will raise it by 50 basis points on Wednesday. And then what they say is actually more important than what they do with raising the rate. So keep an eye out on Wednesday. It's going to be really interesting. All right, I'm going to make myself a note here to get that written down on the seller buy down.
Yeah, please send that to me too, Sean, because I have a client who just finally said, I can't do it. Absolutely. The interest rates are just put me out of the market. I'm done. And so if I could just send him something, it might open that dialogue again. Thanks.
Absolutely. I'll go ahead and send it to everyone that's on this call. So I'm going to copy that. Move that over here. Perfect. And any other weird scenarios you guys are seeing or weird questions from buyers that maybe I can help you overcome this morning?
I was just going to throw out to some people that one place to maybe look for those houses on the market is on the MLS, and maybe people already do it, but you go to office listings and look for those buyers like Open Door or Zillow or OfferPad, and you can see which ones have been sitting out there for 30 days, and that might be a strategy to get them out of their inventory.
Absolutely. Anything we can do to strategize to get our buyers back in the game again. If rate is the only objection and there's homes that are on the market for a while, perfect. It's a perfect property to try this on. So again, this will become more popular because right now people are a little frustrated with what's happening with rates. And I mean, there's no argument around that. Everyone's frustrated. It's just, it is what it is, right? So what we have to do is just arm ourselves with the best tools possible to move forward. All right, any other questions?
Sean, someone wanted to know if that seller buy down is at any price point.
Yes, any price point. It really doesn't matter what price point, what type of loan. It works for every type of loan. It works for every type of price range. It really doesn't matter. So if it's a FHA home in the middle of nowhere with a mobile home that has a well and it's 200,000, it works for that as well. If it's a super jumbo in Paradise Valley, it works for that on that as well. So rates are the same. They work the same for every type of scenario. And so we just need to really figure out what's going to work for buyers, see how much it's going to cost to get to a payment threshold that they like for that property, and then go after it. And again, these mortgage coach presentations, we can look at multiple scenarios side by side and go over it live with the customer to really help them understand how it works.
I have a question. I need to know who iPhone 3 is. They want the information, and all I have is iPhone 3. So if I don't have your name.
It's JC.
It's JC.
Oh,
Hey, JC.
okay. Okay, JC, I got it. Thanks.
All right. So be aware what the feds are doing this Wednesday, and just get after it, guys. Put on your boxing gloves. I always say that, but it is tough out there. I want to end it with a joke, so I apologize, but I like to have fun. And you guys know it by watching my TikToks, and like and follow my TikToks if you haven't already done so. They are hilarious, I think, but who knows? My humor might not be for everyone. But so here's the joke of the day. Why did the mortgage broker always eat lunch by himself? The answer is he was a loner. I know, it's so bad. But hey, we have to have humor in this market. It's really bad, I know, but hey, that's my humor. If you were my kids, you'd understand that.
Little
that-
dad joke for the morning.
Yeah, hold on one second. Sorry, I gotta turn it back on mute. Yeah, I do dad jokes all day long with my kids, and it's just sad sometimes. But definitely follow me. I've got a lot of good mortgage advice on TikTok and Instagram and that as well. But you guys have a great week. I'm gonna send this over to you all with that verbiage, and I'll make it generic, but I'll make it as simple as possible because a lot of times buyers just don't understand finance, and we usually talk way over their heads. So I'll make it so it's easy to share as well.
Thanks,
Also too,
John.
I want to bring up, Sean, not everybody was on the call at the beginning, but definitely if you did not get Sean's invite to a Cinco party on Thursday evening, let me know. And I'll send that over. And also we have a SAR event with Aaron Hodson, our real estate coach, coming up on May 18th. So if you weren't on the call and didn't hear at the beginning, give me a call or send me an email and I'll get you all that information. It's from 2 to 4 on May 18th with a happy hour after. So let me know. I've had a couple people already chat with me and I've already given information. So let me know.
It's gonna be fun, guys. Cinco de
Yes.
Mayo at my house, Cinco de Mayo party. It's gonna be a blast. We're gonna have a ton of games. There's gonna be a band. It's gonna be fun. So if you can make it, I know it's kind of far away from my Prescott peeps, but next time I'll do something up there for you.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Christy.
Thanks,
Anytime,
guys.
guys. You have a phenomenal week, and
Thank you.
we will talk to you guys soon. Don't forget, always refer people to me to get your pre-qualification done.